Hey my guys, we are going to install a cool software today called Omni-Zero, which is pretty groovy, man. Like you can make some cool portraits by blending stuff together. So you can see over here, there's a little snapshot here. We took this old photoshopped picture of Elvis. It's going to keep the body, it's going to keep the dimensions here. We give it a style, so it's going to use these kind of colors. You could use pastels, you could use normal, whatever. It's really good looking at the colors, the type of artwork. And then here's my old buddy John. We're going to add it in, and then when we generate it, we get this groovy picture here where it's blended. Look at the shoulders are the same as this guy. Colors are like this, and then that's old Johnny boy. It was really cool too how it shifted his face sideways too. So that's really good technology there. So we're going to go ahead and install this locally because we're building our workstation, aren't we? We want stuff that we can have access to on our own machines so we can print stuff up, okay? But this is not exactly a clean install. This is not the easiest of installs, and the directions will lead you astray, but don't worry, I'm here to guide you through it. Okay, but before we do that, please like my video, please share it, all that good stuff, because it does help. Helps me, helps everyone else to find this stuff, helps you, because we're growing together. So appreciate you if you do that. So let's get back to the interwebs here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a search for Omni-Zero Git. Okay. Now we're going to look for this one. It says Okaris. That's the one we want. We're going to click on that, and this brings us up to here. Okay. So we can read about it if you want. Show some stuff. Don't worry about any of this kind of stuff right now. That's more advanced stuff. This is kind of interesting. The spaces. You can run this application online if you have a machine that is not very fast. It's a GPU resource sharing way of running this, but that does mean you're reliant on waiting for resources to open up, and you're also at the whim of whether it works. Sometimes it might not want to create what you're creating, or you know, it just blobs. So we don't really want that. It's nice to know it's there, but we want to install this on our local machine. So we're going to go here. The instructions look real easy, but if you follow these instructions as are, it will lead you right off a cliff. Okay, so I'm going to guide you through this. What we are going to do is go ahead and copy this real quick, because we're going to have to git clone this into our repository. So having pressed Control-C to copy that, we're going to go over to our terminal. Okay, now you want to put this in whatever folder you're going to want to use for this. So I already have a temp folder. I'm going to go ahead and type mkdir, that means make directory, and I'm going to make a directory called temp2. Okay, mine already exists. Okay, let's do make directory temp3, or temp4. All right, so it's now made it. I'm going to type cd temp4. You put it in whatever folder you want, okay? But just know that once we git clone it, it's going to create a folder. So press Control-V, it's going to git clone that in there, okay? Now if we type dir, you'll see it's created a folder called Omni-Zero. Cool, huh? So what we're going to do is type cd change directory Omni-Zero. We're going to get inside this directory. Okay, now if we type dir again, you can see all of the files in there. Okay, I'm going to really quick type cls. We're going to clear the screen, and then let's directory it again so we can see what we got. Now let's go back to our instructions here. Now our instructions say next thing is to pip install the requirements. Okay, we know that that's not right, because what do we have to do first? We have to create our virtual environment. We got to get our CUDA toolkit installed, okay? But this is for us NVIDIA users. So before we do that, we're going to go back to here, and we're going to create our Conda environment. So we're going to type Conda create, okay? And we're going to go -- name. We're giving it, saying what we're going to name it, and we'll call it Omni-Zero. Okay? And then remember, give it a Python to use, so we'll use 10.11. And then I'm going to show you a little trick. If you hit -Y, what that's going to do is it's going to go ahead and install this without us having to hit the Y to proceed. This is really good once you get into programming and packaging your stuff, because you don't want users having to go in there and press extra keys. So you'll be able to do it for them. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and activate our our environment. So we type activate Omni-Zero, and now you're going to see that we are indeed in the virtual environment. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and clear the screen again. Now we have to go ahead and install the CUDA toolkit. Okay, so we go conda install, we put that -C, that tells us that we're looking in a particular catalog. That catalog is called NVIDIA, and out of that catalog we want the CUDA toolkit, and we want it to equal 11.8.0. Okay, now we'll go ahead and let that install. If you get an error here saying that it can't find this NVIDIA catalog, watch my other video on how to set up the NVIDIA with your mini conda. Okay, so we can see that it's gone ahead and installed. Okay, now this is normally where we would install Torch. Okay, if you've been following, you always want to get your CUDA toolkit, then you want to get your Torch installed. Okay, with this one, we're going to do it a little bit different. This is kind of wonky the way they got it. So, before what we would do before we go ahead and install the pip requirements, let's go ahead and look at them. So, we could type notepad requirements.txt. Okay, now what that's going to do is it's going to open up a notepad with that file. Now we're going to look through here and we can see, oh, there's Torch. Now as usual, it doesn't have the CUDA installed, so this is the wrong Torch. If we just install this and we run it, we will have a problem. It'll say that Torch isn't installed with CUDA. Now in the past we would remove this, but with this and just install it separately. But with this, we're going to go ahead and let it install, because there's some other stuff going on here, especially with this thing here, that is we need this to be installed before we install some other stuff. Then we're just going to upgrade it to the newer stuff. So no problem. We'll switch back to our terminal. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead pip install. We're going to put -R, which means read from a file. So we're going to install stuff from a file. And what is that file? It's requirements.txt. So, and we can already check, we can see we're in our virtual environment, so we're safe. So let's go ahead, let that install. Now this is going to take a second because it's going to install Torch, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pause this and we'll be right back. Okay, so now we have got that installed, okay, but we're going to have the wrong Torch installed. So we need to go ahead and put the right one in. So what we're going to do is go back to the internet, okay? I told you this is not exactly a clean install, okay? So what we're going to do here, let's go to my website. You'll go to Cognibuild. Good Lord, Cognibuild.ai. Okay, then we'll click blog. Now go down here and find this one that says installing Torch with CUDA from Python. Click on this. Okay, what we're going to want is we're going to take this command here, and we're going to have to change this out to the correct Torch. But what this does here is it actually sets some parameters to say, tells it to install the CUDA version, and then over here where it says upgrade, it's going to basically, what that means is replace the existing. So go ahead and highlight that and copy it. Let's go back to our terminal. Let's type CLS to clear the screen. We're in Control V. Now we need to use the arrow key here to go over here and change this. If we do 2.20, it will not work. So we put the 0 in there. We're going to hit enter. Now what this is going to do is it's going to uninstall the existing Torch and then upgrade it with the new one. So we'll sit here for just a second just so you can see when it actually starts to uninstall it, and then we'll pause it again. Okay, so there you go. It's uninstalling it, and then it's going to reinstall. So that takes a bit of time, so we are going to pause again, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and you can see here that it installed it. We have no errors, so that's awesome. If you forget to change that from a 2 to a 0, you'll get an error, but if you read it, you'll realize what you've done. Okay, so now this is where we take it to a new level of wonkiness, but we go back to the internet here. You're going to see the next thing it wants to do is run this demo.py. Do not run it like that. It will crash your computer. It'll kill your computer. I don't even know why they have this here. Honestly, it's irresponsible the way that they put this up here. I mean, you don't want to dog them. They put out awesome software, so it's like, you know, but I'm just saying that it will screw you up. So we've got to get a little bit crazy here. And if I wasn't here, there's no way you would know this. Okay, so you're welcome. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to type notepad. Well, let's hit directory first. You're going to see there's a file here called app.py. That's actually the one we want to run, but if we run it as is, it still ain't going to work. So type notepad, okay, and we're going to type app.py. So again, that's going to bring up, it's going to bring up your notepad. Okay, so here you can see, there we are. Now, what we need to do is we need to get rid of where it says spaces. This import spaces, delete it. Okay, then you're going to type Control F, and you're going to type in the word spaces. It's going to bring you down here where it says @spaces.gpu. Delete it. Get it done with it. Okay? I mean, there's no way people would know this, and you have to have it or else this won't work. So press Control S. We're going to save that. We're going to go back to our terminal window. Now what we're going to do is we're going to type Python app.py. Okay? Now, this bad boy is going to not work here. Okay, give me just a second to see what's going on here. Okay, we're back, and what had happened was I had changed the wrong file. I have multiple of these files open. So, doing exactly what we just did, we're just going to type Python app.py. Okay, now this thing is going to load. It'll take just a second. Okay, okay, you can see it starting to work. It's magic. Now it's got to install these models first. Okay, so this is the face swap and all that kind of stuff. Gets us down here. It's going to sit here for just a minute or two. We're going to twiddle our thumbs. I'll twiddle my thumbs underneath the monitor here. Okay, I think we're just about done. There, it's done. Okay, look at that. So now we're going to go ahead and click on this. We can hit Control, hit that, and if we go back to our here, all of a sudden it's popped it up. Okay, now you got these ones down here. You can click if you want to do a quick chess. It's got these weird people here. And you can see it's going to take composition is the one that's this is actually how they're going to look. So if their hands are here, their face is this way, it's going to be like that when it gets done. It's going to grab the style, so it's going to make it cartoonish, use these colors, and then it's going to put this person's face on there. And then we're just going to click the generate, and that's going to do its thing. Now, while this is working here, what we're going to do is I want to show you a few things down here. You have your advanced options, okay? So you can go down here, you can get a base image. This is like the image you want to start with. You say, this is actually the first step of where we're starting. I want it to look a lot like the base image, okay? You can mess down with your seeds, your prompts. Okay, and we're back. And I'm telling you, this took a long time. This is an ugly install, guys. Like, this is not a clean install. So it took a very long time. I ended up having to reboot the machine to get back on here. So you're welcome to play around with this. We finally got our results here, but I'm going to tell you, I've fixed this up. I've cleaned this up. The best thing that you're going to probably want to do, just go to my Patreon site. You go to patreon.com, type in CogniBuild. Click on it where it says collections, and under here, under member exclusive software, you can download this. It's like $5. In fact, you get everything for that. And I'm going to show you how easy this is. Okay? All you're going to have to do is get it down there, click this, Omni-Zero install, and then that's going to install it all there without you having to do any of that crazy stuff that we did. And then you just click the run, and it's going to run. So this is a lot cleaner way to do it. I fixed stuff up so that it runs better. But you're welcome, of course, do this other one. But I'm telling you, it was ugly. But you can get it going. Here, I've ran a few other things for you here. You can see over here, this is where we started. Okay, and we use this picture of John Wayne here. Now, it's not the picture of John Wayne. It doesn't matter. It's John Wayne. We're looking at the art styles, okay? And then we got this gal's face here. So then what's our result? Look at, she's still sitting the same way this person is, okay? It's her face. Everything's basically the same. Look at even the hair. I mean, that's incredible. Okay, and then it's in the style of this. Did another one over here. There's some weird stuff. We started with a bear. Okay, and we wanted this kind of style of whatever this is. That's a nature scene. Here's my buddy John. So they put in there. You can really tweak out on this stuff. I don't know how practical this would be for work stuff, but here's a very weird one too. Okay, my God, that's disturbing stuff right there. But you can do it, and you can get it all here on the collection site over here for cheap and for real easy install. Or you can go ahead and follow this tutorial, and I hope you get it working. This is a really cool software. You guys are really going to enjoy this. If you can get this working locally from the install, that's great. Like I said, though, you can get it done even easier. Just download it, click on this, and then when that's done, click on that. You're going within 5 to 10 minutes. So anyway, that was the hefty install there. We went in and created environments. We created the CUDA toolkit again. We went in, we upgrade. We installed Torch twice. That's a long wait. And then we went in and we actually had to change code to get it to work. And then even with the code changed, just to get it to run, it did not work that well, but it works. That's what we did. And then I showed you the one click, which is a heck of a lot easier way to get this going, and then you're just clicking through stuff like this. This is heavily resource intensive though. The one thing is I can't run it while I'm making these videos because it uses up too much GPU process. By itself it runs really good. You get these things within seconds, okay? If you're trying to do multiple stuff, this is not the thing to be running while you're running other stuff as well. So at any rate, whew, we made it. That was an ordeal to get this done. I'm telling you the truth. I've probably been working on this video for about an hour and a half, maybe more, 2 hours. And before that, I was working on this because that thing was wonky. The website does not give you good directions. If you go by the install on the directions, it ain't going to work. And if you follow the tutorial here, you'll get it working, but it's still not the greatest. But definitely a software worth spending your time on, and you can get it going for just real quick if you just go get the one click. But we're going to leave it here. Thank God. I'm going to go pass out in the corner. No, I ain't going to do that. I'm celebrating because I enjoy making these videos for you. But we are going to leave it here. I want to wish you good. And as always, hey, you stay good, and we'll catch you on the next time.